My name's Kyle Jennings, and for 3 years at Lincoln Tech University, I was invisible, unless someone needed homework help or a target for a cheap laugh. I wasn't poor, just quiet. I loved code, machines, and solitude. While the others partied in frat houses and dated cheerleaders, I spent nights teaching myself how to hack firewalls and build AI algorithms. It wasn't glamorous, but it gave me purpose. Then came Travis, the golden boy of campus. Star quarterback, son of a trustee. The kind of guy who thought nerd was an insult and respect came with a last name. He and his crew, the Core 4, made my life hell. They didn't just mock me, they humiliated me, hacking into my class presentation to play porn, plastering the campus with edited photos, even pretending to invite me to a party only to lock me in a janitor's closet for 5 hours. I told myself I'd survive it. Graduate, get a job, forget them. But then, they took it one step further. They stole my capstone project. A tech prototype I spent 2 years building. Rebranded it. Pitched it as their own. And with Travis's family connections, they landed a $1.2 million startup fund. That day, something snapped. They thought I was weak. They forgot I was smarter. I didn't cry when I saw Travis pitch my invention on stage. I didn't scream or report them. That's what they expected. A weak little nerd running to the dean, begging for help. No. I watched. I memorized their words. And then I smiled. See, what Travis didn't know was that my original prototype had code markers embedded in the core AI. Hidden in the very lines of code he stole were digital fingerprints. Proof that I created every piece. Proof I'd never shared with anyone. While they celebrated their seed funding, I spent every waking hour planning. I didn't want just justice, I wanted humiliation, collapse, fear. I hacked their development server and watched their progress. Travis and the others weren't smart enough to maintain the project. They were using consultants and freelancers who didn't understand the full scope of what I had built. They were clueless and fragile. So I started with small cracks. One night, I spoofed an update that caused their demo app to crash during a private investor meeting. Another day, I submitted anonymous complaints to the ethics board about the suspicious similarities between their code and a previously published research project. Mine. But that was just the beginning, because I wasn't going to just take them down. I was going to build something better, right under their noses. I called my version of the stolen project Ghost Frame. It wasn't flashy, it didn't need to be, because unlike the mess Travis's team had Frankenstein together, mine actually worked. While they were chasing VC attention with buzzwords and staged demos, I spent nights in the basement lab, refining, testing, evolving. Ghost Frame wasn't just better. It was cleaner, faster, smarter. Everything the original was meant to be before they butchered it. I kept it quiet. No social media, no flashy launch. Instead, I found Professor Nadia Lee, the one faculty member who'd never treated me like a ghost. She taught advanced AI theory and ran a tiny campus incubator program. When she saw Ghost Frame in action, her eyes widened. "You built this alone?" I nodded. "Then it's time the world saw it." Through her network, I got access to real investors. Small time, but honest. Developers who cared more about the tech than the suits behind it. Meanwhile, Travis's startup, ArcNet, started cracking. Their newest demo failed at a local tech expo. One of their contractors bailed, claiming their codebase was unethical and unstable. I may have nudged that a little, sent him a few anonymized Git logs showing the inconsistencies and my original timestamps. But I wasn't done. Next step? Take their spotlight. At the university's end-of-semester innovation showcase, the biggest stage on campus. Travis assumed it was his to dominate. I had other plans. The Lincoln Tech Innovation Showcase wasn't just a school event. It was a pipeline. Investors, journalists, CEOs, and recruiters attended, all hunting for the next campus genius. The Core 4 had strutted across that stage for years, collecting praise they never earned. This time, I was going to take it from them. But not like they would. No suits, no ego. Just ghost frame my mind, and one big reveal. Travis was scheduled to present ArcNet right before the lunch break. His usual, over-polished slides, buzzwords, charm oozing out of his pores. His friends cheered from the front row, some already tipsy off celebratory flasks. What they didn't know? I'd already planted a digital trap in ArcNet's code. The moment Travis began the live demo, it failed. Not just failed, it glitched, flickered, and then crashed to a blue screen. A loud, ugly failure in front of everyone. He tried to recover, started stammering about updates and compatibility issues. It was painful, and I just watched, sitting in the second row, silent and still. Then came my turn. When Professor Nadia introduced me, I could hear whispers. "Who's that guy? Wait, isn't he the tech nerd Travis used to mess with?" I walked up calmly. No frills, just Ghost Frame's live demo. A simple camera tracked me. Real-time object detection highlighting details, mapping trajectories, predicting intent, all seamless. People gasped. Someone clapped. A man in a tailored suit stood up, nodding like he'd found gold. And then I said the line that would haunt Travis forever. This project was born from silence, but today it speaks for itself, and for everyone who's ever been underestimated. The room exploded. Travis left before I stepped down. But the revenge? It was only beginning. By the next morning, the campus was buzzing. "Who is Kyle Jennings?" was trending on the university subreddit. I had 4 job offers in my inbox. 1 from a Seattle startup, 2 from Fortune 500 tech firms, and 1 from a government research lab. Ghost Frame's demo clip had gone semi-viral after a tech blog posted it with the caption, "A quiet genius just humiliated a frat-built startup on stage." Meanwhile, ArcNet's investors started pulling out. Some had seen my presentation and immediately connected the dots. Others got anonymous emails with time-stamped screenshots of Travis's code theft, including side-by-sides with my GitHub repo. A few professors launched an inquiry. The school ethics board opened a case. Travis was cornered. At the same time, I got a message request from someone I hadn't seen in a while. Emily Harper. She'd been my lab partner freshman year. Back then, she was kind to me. Always respectful, even when I was invisible to the rest of the campus. She left after sophomore year for an internship in New York. Now, she was back. For grad school. "Kyle, was that really your project? I just saw the video. That was incredible." We met for coffee that night. I didn't wear anything flashy, still had the same hoodie, but this time people noticed me. Even the barista greeted me like a minor celebrity. Emily smiled. "So, you always had it in you. Just needed the right moment." She asked questions, real ones. Not about money or success, but about how I built Ghost Frame. I told her the truth, even the part about what Travis did. "Then I hope you bury him," she said without flinching. She didn't say it out of spite. She said it because she knew what it meant to be underestimated. 2 weeks after the showcase, I wasn't just a name on campus. I was the name. I got invited to speak at a regional startup summit. Professors who once ignored me now name-dropped me in their lectures. Even Travis's cronies stopped sneering when I passed by. Some even nodded, like they were pretending they'd always respected me. Pathetic. Meanwhile, ArcNet was dying. A week after the demo disaster, I published an open-source version of Ghost Frame Lite on GitHub. A stripped-down version anyone could use or build on. It was clean, stable, better than anything they had. Suddenly, the spotlight shifted. No one cared about ArcNet anymore. Their few remaining backers jumped ship. An anonymous tip, yes, from me, informed the university that Travis had used campus resources for commercial gain without permission, a violation of multiple policies. He was suspended pending investigation. But I wasn't done. See, I bought their domain. Literally. Someone forgot to renew the ArcNet. Tech domain, and I snapped it up the second it became available. Now when people searched for ArcNet, they landed on a page titled Stolen Code, Stolen Dreams, The Truth About ArcNet, with all the proof, the commits, the logs, even video of Travis mocking me freshman year during a hackathon. That video went viral. Emily saw it one night and turned to me with fire in her eyes. "You know what you've done, right? You've just rewritten your whole story." We started working together. She had a mind for UX and product design, things I didn't care much about. But she made Ghostframe look good, not just run well. She was the missing piece, not just professionally. We weren't dating, not yet, but the way she stayed after every long night in the lab, how she brought coffee, how she stood behind me during every pitch, it was real. Meanwhile, Travis? He was spiraling. He posted a rant on LinkedIn accusing me of sabotage and jealousy. It got ratioed in minutes. People replied with screenshots, jokes, memes. He was becoming a punchline. And I was just getting started. The campus ethics board finally made its ruling. It came in the form of a cold, formal email. Mr. Travis West has been found guilty of academic dishonesty, misuse of university resources, and intellectual theft. His punishment? Expulsion. No degree, no startup, no legacy. That should have been the moment I felt victorious, but all I felt was empty. Emily noticed it. "You thought revenge would feel better than this?" I nodded. She sat next to me in silence, then finally said, "That's because you're not the same guy they used to step on. You outgrew the fight." She wasn't wrong, but there was more coming. The Washington Post's Tech and Innovation column ran a feature titled From Outcast to Icon: How Kyle Jennings Beat Campus Corruption and Built the Future. Suddenly, I wasn't just a local story. I was a symbol. Journalists were emailing. Podcasts wanted interviews. TEDx reached out. The same world that once ignored me now wouldn't shut up about me. I was invited to speak at a national tech conference in LA. I hesitated. Part of me still felt like the background kid, the one who flinched every time someone said genius too loudly. But Emily grabbed my hand. "You earned this, not by stepping on others, but by building when no one watched." So I went. On stage, under bright lights, I told the story. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with honesty. For years, I was invisible, and maybe that saved me. It taught me to build quietly, to listen more, to focus on the work, not the noise. But let me be clear, being kind does not mean being weak. And when you've been underestimated long enough, eventually you stop asking for respect and just take it. The crowd rose to their feet. Afterward, in a quiet corner of the convention, I got one last message from Travis. Just 3 words. "You win, man." I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. 3 years later, Seattle was always a little gray in the mornings, but Kyle didn't mind. He stood by the tall window of his downtown office, Ghostframe HQ, sipping coffee from a chipped mug that still had the university logo, a reminder of where it all started. The company had grown fast. What began as one open-source tool had evolved into a full platform used by design teams, film studios, and even defense contractors. They'd just signed a major licensing deal. He still coded, still sat at his terminal late at night when the office was empty, still wore hoodies more often than suits. But the difference now? People listened. Investors, journalists, students. They came to learn, not laugh. And Emily? She was there too. Not just in the office next door. She was his co-founder, creative lead, and his partner in every sense. They still didn't call themselves official, but their apartment downtown had both their names on the lease. She hung a note on his monitor one morning, back when they were still scrappy. "Don't forget who you are when the world starts clapping." He never did. Sometimes Kyle got messages from students, kids being bullied, kids who didn't fit in. They told him his story gave them hope, that he made them believe quiet minds still matter. He always replied. One of those students, a high school senior, wrote, "They call me the weird one. But now I tell them, keep laughing. You'll be pitching to me someday." Kyle smiled when he read it, because that had once been him, and somewhere out there, maybe the next quiet genius was about to rise.